Hi, I'm Tika McCoy with the Wisdom of Naomi. Welcome back to my channel. This is some tidbits on my journey as I am asking us to continue to pray and give grace to Kiki and Cassie and all these other women that are coming out. The first video, I shared a little bit about why some women may not share their story in the timeline that we think they should. This video, I'm going to speak specifically to me in terms of the danger that I put myself in when I put all of my hope in a man versus God. Um, and how I just made a complete just mess of my life when my husband was the head of my life instead of God. And I just want to quickly just share, I just want to read something in my book. This is on chapter 3, and this chapter is titled Unexpected Grief, and it was with when my mom died. My marital problems overshadowed my mother's death, and it made me sick to my stomach. Jerry never left my thoughts, yet he didn't deserve for me to be thinking so much about him, especially at this time. And I share that because, and I talk about this more in this chapter, when my mother passed, it was still a very trying time. Jerry and I were still in the midst of all of our drama. And it took me some time to forgive myself and to heal. And thank God my father helped to guide me through it. I never truly grieved my mother the way that I thought that I should have. I'm the baby girl out of the youngest, and and my mom and I were extremely close. And when she passed, Jerry and I were still just in the midst of all of this drama. And whenever I would just like close my eyes and try to think of my mother, all I could think about was Jerry having an affair. All I could think about is where is he? Why isn't he answering my calls? And it made me absolutely sick to my stomach. And it made me realize what happens to our mindset, at least me. Like, so it made me realize what happened to my mindset and what happened to mentally where I was when I was so into a man, even though he was my husband, right? That he overshadowed my mother's death. Y'all, I was going through it. I was going through it. At, I was going through it. And I wanted to share that because, again, we don't know the ins and outs of someone's relationships. But it wasn't until I put God first in my life. It wasn't until I prayed to God to give me the strength to end my marriage that everything in my life changed for the better. It is important for us to have a healthy balance in our relationships where God is first, our spouse, our children, and our job. I was all topsy turvy where Jerry was first and then my job. Like, God was way down on that list. Everything in my life was completely upside down. I believe because of that is some of the reason that Jerry and I were just a hot mess and why we could not get things done because we put too much faith. I put too much faith in him and Jerry, and he was putting his faith in alcohol and another woman, and God wasn't anywhere in the picture. So I just share that because it's so important to make sure that God is truly the head of our lives. And I know when I would hear people say that, I didn't quite understand it until I finally got to that point where I had to pray and submit to God. And I believed and I know in my heart that he heard and he answered my prayers. And he moved me from one stage of my life to the next. And everything changed for the better. I don't know what happens in other relationships. I don't know where Cassie is in her relationship or if she has a relationship with Christ. I don't know, and I'm not going to speak to any of that. I'm just saying for me, I have been able to reflect back on my healing journey and know that I had an unhealthy um, I well, obsession. I just had an unhealthy obsession of wanting and needing that man, that I was willing to accept everything that he did to me. I accepted it because I needed him. I wanted him. I did not want to let him go. Now that my relationship with God is what it is, that I know better in terms of I don't have to accept behaviors and words and situations, because that man is not the end all be all. That man is not going to give me life. Only Jesus will do that, right? And so I just share that because sometimes when we have an unhealthy dedication, devotion, dependence on a man, we can fall prey to some crazy, crazy things. And that's just where I want to leave it. I'll come back with another video. In the meantime, let's continue to pray for women. Let's give them grace and understanding when they're in these situations, because we don't know where they're at, and what type of dedication and devotion that they have to their partners. It's look, it's real, and it can take you there, and it has taken me there. It has taken me there, but by the grace of God, I am on the other side. Amen. Amen. May God keep you and bless you.